Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the one and only Turbo. Listen up, boys and girls. We are going to be diving into the markets, right? We're going to be diving into what happened with Bitcoin, what happened with Turbo, what's next for Turbo, and something massive that the Turbo community is planning, which we'll actually cover first. So the first thing the Turbo community is planning is that on March 7th, they are going to be rating multiple posts on Twitter. Okay. And I will be participating in it. I will be leaving comments, liking everything. I'm not going to reply to, I don't know if every single comment I'm going to reply to, but I will be participating in a lot of posts, and I will be liking all the Turbo posts I see, retweeting some of them, quoting some of them, and let's just do it, right? The reason why it is March 7th on the Friday is because I believe Trump is going to be talking about crypto. There's going to be a big summit, right? Um, so, a great time to pretty much expose Turbo to a lot of communities, right? We know meme coins, regardless of what people say, some people love them, some people hate them, they are going to be always part of a cycle. Now, not every coin is going to have, you know, go up all the way high or like to a certain price or, redeem itself or, go to the prices we think it's going to go, but some of the coins will. Okay. And I believe Turbo will be one of those winners. Um, Mainly for a couple of reasons we've always discussed. Like I believe there's institutional trading behind this. I believe, we've talked about the ratios of, when Turbo goes down, how much, less it goes down than other meme coins, the volume it has, right? It's one of the best volumes for the out there for meme coins, especially when we, talk about ratios. And yeah, I really, really do just enjoy this token and I do believe in it. I do genuinely think Robinhood is next for this token over the next few short months. First thing we are going to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, right? Look, Saturday, always a slow day. Always a slow day. This is getting recorded on the Sunday. We can see volume jumped up almost double the amount. So we're sitting at 82 million in volume. Really, really fantastic. That is exactly what I like to see. When we go to the Ether scan, ladies and gentlemen, right, and we go to pretty much holders, we could see that we did go up in holders on the Sunday, but we did drop roughly 10 for the Monday. Even though, which is weird, it is weird. I am not recording this on a Monday, so I don't know what's happening. I guess this is just a different time zone, but pretty much we're sitting near the all-time holders, right? A little bit of a dip of a couple people doesn't really matter ultimately in the end, but we can see we are growing in holders. We are also almost at 110,000 followers. Things with the things with crypto, ladies and gentlemen, it moves in bursts mainly, right? We might be growing slowly in terms of holders or followers, and then when there's gonna be more and more hype, next thing you know, the Twitter following is gonna double within like a week. That's just how it is in crypto. There's a lot of bandwagon. There's a lot of emotional trading. It is why, ladies and gentlemen, it is why it's you have to try to be as little or be as little emotional as possible. Use emotions as little as possible. But I know it's not always easy. Even someone with me like myself that has quite a bit of experience, I am still sometimes here and there, get emotional or feel it rise just a little bit. It is absolutely normal. We are the 184th rank at the moment out of all the pretty much 11,000 cryptos listed on CoinMarketCap. So we are killing the game. We did drop by 2 because we were, I believe, at 182, which is fine, right? It's not always going to be just straight up, but we will be monitoring how Turbo does over the next few months. I do believe we could definitely be smashing it. Right, we would definitely be smashing it. We were almost out of the, out inside the top 200, like outside of the top 200. But no, we held and we're actually, climbing back up the ranks very, very nicely. Something that doesn't also get talked about too much is Ethereum, right? Pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, the two main things, well, I guess three technically, but the two main things people don't really talk about that do affect our price is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin dominance also as well, and Ethereum, right? So we can see Bitcoin has had a huge weekly rejection. Huge, right? It went from on Friday at one point at 78,000 and it went up all the way to pretty much 95,000. This thing shot up almost 20,000 in just a couple of days. Now, does that mean we won't go back down? No, that doesn't mean we won't go back down. But that is a huge candle rejection. And the probable scenarios are, one, we have something like this where over the next 2-3 weeks it's kind of silent and then we pop, or we kind of, you know, mess around, stay a little bit longer, maybe like 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then we pop off, right? So we will see and monitor. It is very important because obviously if Bitcoin generally goes down, in general, Turbo will be going down. There's only that one exception at one time. We can see overall the markets are bleeding a little bit, right? We can see, Radium bleeding 10%, Pangolin bleeding 3.5%, Ondo, big Bitcoin bleeding 3.5%. Turbo is bleeding a little bit more because it is a meme coin, but we have also like something like XRP bleeding almost 5%, Caspa almost bleeding 5%. So, each coin is bleeding a decent amount. Pullbacks are inevitable, right? And something that also, is related to us a lot is Ethereum, right? When Ethereum starts having its bull run officially, right? When Ethereum starts popping off, ladies and gentlemen, it is when Turbo will also do really well, right? That transition from when Bitcoin and other coins start popping off, and then Ethereum, and then from Ethereum to altcoin season, that transition is most likely going to be the peak for us, right? Because usually it goes Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then like other kind of Bitcoins, but it's all in general, it kind of goes from, let's just say, Ethereum to altcoin season. Generally speaking, that's what people count it. And, somewhere between this bridge is where we're going to peak, right? We could peak a little bit earlier, which that was my philosophy on Turbo months ago, compared to other coins, right? Some coins might peak, 4 weeks into the altcoin season, 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. We might peak 2 or 3 because we actually might be getting a lot of the gains also from Ethereum, and then we might be getting the initial gains from Ethereum down to the beginning of altcoin season as our pump. So we will see, right? We will monitor, but that's, like I said, that's what usually goes from Bitcoin to Ethereum, to other Bitcoins, and then like smaller caps. But we will see, we will monitor everything. A lot has to do with, like I said, Bitcoin. Ethereum does have to catch up. If we go to Turbo's price action, ladies and gentlemen, right? I overall did say I do like the weekly rejections, but the message and everything is still kind of the same. We are still in a zone, more or less, and nothing will change until we break out of it and respect it. Okay. Regardless of the momentum we caught over the last day with Bitcoin, the big picture is breaking out of this zone, which I believe we will. Okay. Which I believe we will. We are kind of creating a triangle pattern. So I do believe whatever happens, we will kind of consolidate. Now, there's always going to be two scenarios. One scenario is we go down below here and continue going lower, which would also mean Bitcoin's probably going back down to 70K, which I don't believe will happen. And that means everything has crashed. Or scenario two, which is the more likely one, where we break out and then we get fast momentum. And that's when we start taking out this type of liquidity, start creating higher highs, higher lows, simple fundamentals, and we're back in action, ladies and gentlemen. I talk about the micro moves because a lot of you guys like to hear about the micro moves, but ultimately in the end it does not matter. At the minimum, worst case scenario, like I said, I believe somewhere between 1.5 and 2 cents for Turbo, like the absolute worst, which means pretty much at any point, anyone that bought anywhere at this current moment should either break even or make a little bit of gains. Worst case scenario, in my opinion. And, best case scenario, ladies and gentlemen, we go to like 30, 40 cents, right? We talked about this before, maybe 20 cents. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see what happens with the updates, how much Trump is, talking pro crypto, how well everything is going. I don't want to overhype anything. I'm always on the more conservative side. But yeah, I have high hopes for this coin. Nothing has changed. My bias has not changed at all. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.